What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Infinite Gains, and we're back again with another GME and AMC update video. We're gonna be going over some other stocks: Chewy, kohrs, Mara, Bitcoin, gold. So lock in. So we're on GME right now. So I have kind of two possible scenarios, but they all come. It's all part of one major scenario, which will look like this. If we take down our path here, I mean, this should be your last little iteration here. I mean, you should really come up out of this level, probably to this 48 area. You know, maybe a small retrace, but once you break your May high and your 2021 high, I mean, you're rocket launching out of here, and it should look something like this. I mean, it should. I don't do dates. I really don't. But from what I saw, when I saw this dip off of this dilution news, when I saw this retest of the supply zone, I mean, that was just kind of I don't know, it was kind of the signal to me. It was like, this is, you know, something is different here. Like, you came down in the secondary retest, and I mean, you should see an explosive move off this level, and you already retested 25. I mean, like, once you break 25, it should no longer be resistance anymore. I mean, should be able to shoot up. I mean, this looks like a typical schematic to me. So this is just my opinion on shorter time frame. It does look like, okay, well, you're in this flagging pattern, right? Maybe you want to look at it as some kind of triangle. To me, it just looks like a flag, like this. So you kind of have two possible scenarios that could play out from here. Obviously, a bearish one where you do break down, find a rejection at this liquid zone, and then come back and retest. So you do have support at around this $19. Well, you do have support here from this upper trend line that exists, and then this is a very strong bottom trend line here and you have multiple points of support that exists, and that's actually where you bounced off originally, off this dilution dump. So you could return back to this trend line. If we take a trend from here to here, you have some confluence at this $19 level. Yeah, that's possible. You could break down out of this, but in my opinion, so like, if we do break down, okay, you have this zone that you can identify as support, you know, here, and even the daily 200. But I am in the opinion that we do break up, that we do break to the upside, right? I do think that this white path will play out. And you will gap fill here at this level, at this $23 level. So this is what I think will play out, and then ultimately, once this gap is filled, if the gap is filled, I mean, you should really shoot up with some velocity here, and really be able to start the move. And so from what I'm seeing, I mean, it should start very soon. I don't do dates, but I mean, probably within the next, by mid-October. I mean, seriously, it's just like, I can't really see it going much more than that. But so this is GME's chart. We look at AMC. AMC is fine. It's trading in its pennant, and we did get a very bullish cross up of its daily 100 up over its daily 200 here. Still trading in the pennant. So whenever it breaks out with GME, kind of things to look for is, okay, well, you might find resistance at this line here and this zone here. So that's around, you know, $13. Once you break May high on AMC, which is around $11, $12, I mean, this really shouldn't be resistance at all. It should literally be a straight freaking line up to this point. Now, you might find some resistance here, yes, because this is a 3-year long downtrend, right? And you have to break this level, and it's gonna be a very, very explosive level once broken. So this is gonna be your initial resistance zone. If we bring this box up here, this is gonna be your initial resistance zone. And you can see back in 2021, we had this kind of downtrend line, and we really shot up, found resistance at this downtrend, and we gapped up to its peak. So this, I mean, it should look very, very similar to 2021. Is you shoot up, find resistance in the zone, maybe gap up, maybe not, maybe it's just a straight line. But I mean, once this line breaks, you have the opportunity to go to much higher price levels, all the way to, I mean, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter be talking about this $244 level. Yes, it is possible, but you should have a trading plan that you should not be holding a majority of your portfolio to that level. That's just kind of, it's just like, what are you doing at that point? It's just like, if you're not selling at these levels as well, I don't know. I don't know what you're doing, because yeah, I mean, we do have a lot of confluence at that 244 level, but the problem is that no one can tell the future, right? So no one knows exactly what will happen. So if we don't get to that level and you're still waiting for it, well, I mean, the down move can be pretty violent. If we go back to 2021, it's like you hit the peak, and this, I mean, it was pretty volatile, but you have, you know, these pretty large drops here. If we put on our ruler, I mean, you're dropping 70%, right? In the course of just like days, hours, and you're dropping 70%. So, I mean, you have to sell on the way up, because if you're waiting, man, if you're waiting for the exact top, and it's like, okay, well, you fall down 70% in just like a day or two, that's pretty brutal, and you're gonna miss out. So you have to have a plan to sell on the way up, because selling on the way down, it just may not be sustainable, because you're just falling down so rapidly. So that is GME, AMC. We'll look at costs. I mean, it should hit this 460 level and go even higher. I mean, this is like pretty self-explanatory. I mean, it looks great. You bounced off this 0.5 level. You also, on our weekly, bounced off our support bands, our weekly support bands as well. Maybe I have to put those on here. We'll put on our support bands so you can see. On our weekly time frame, we bounced right off of our support bands. You can see that we initially broke up, boom, retested weekly bands, boom, retested weekly bands. Kind of same things, same scenario happened in originally here. You come back, test support bands, test support bands, test support bands, and then you're off to the races. So our support bands on the weekly are holding. You broke above your 200. You're fighting support this 0.5 retrace. So you should be able to hit this 3.618 level at around 460, and then even head higher than that. So this is, yeah, it is a pretty crazy chart. But I mean, if you're going to see these crazy runs with AMC and GME, costs is going to be going crazy as well. Let's look at Chewy. You have a reverse head and shoulder pattern inside of this triangle, and you've already broken out of the triangle, but you have to confirm a break of this head and shoulder. And you did see resistance right at this trend line here at around this $32 level, which is also the midline of this liquidity zone. So for Chewy, something that you'd want to see is a break of this trend line, a break of this $35, maybe come down and retest, and then you can go higher than that. If you want to take a measured move out of this triangle, I mean, you could hit $80, and you could hit all the way to 187 on Chewy if we get extremely bullish here. So Chewy has an interesting chart. I know that Roaring Kitty posted that he's done with Chewy, but is he though? I mean, he posted that meme, and Chewy still went up 20%. So maybe this is the Kansas City shuffle. Maybe he's not actually out of Chewy. Chewy's chart right now looks great regardless if he's in or not. So this is something I would definitely be looking at. You know, if you can break this trend line, if you can break $35, I'd be pretty interested in this stock going to 80, 60, 80, even higher. So we'll keep an eye on Chewy as well. All right, so I want to get over to Bitcoin. A lot of people have been talking about this, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm just seeing distribution, right? I think there's a lot of misconception about what accumulation looks like and what distribution looks like, and they can take many forms, right? Distribution can look like a double top. It can look like a wedge. It can look like it can look like a rounding top as well. I mean, it can look very different, right? It's not this just clean cut kind of rectangle schematic that people are normally used to looking at. And yes, reaccumulation can look like this, but the structure is just it's just too good for distribution, right? I mean, you have this just perfect markup period. You have the psi, you have a buying climax test, and then you just have this you showed weakness, right? When we dropped here, you showed weakness, couldn't break above. I mean, and you're just showing just weakness all the way down. So in my opinion, if you can't break this trend line, if you cannot break the daily 100, and if you can, I mean, you're still above the daily 100 and 200. So regardless of what it may even look like, you're bearish right now, right? I mean, it's very, very simple. Bitcoin is very, very simple. I mean, you just put moving averages on the chart, and that's it. I mean, it's really just not even that complicated. So for now, it's like you should be bearish under the daily 100 and 200, and especially when the 100 has crossed down below the 200. So in my opinion, if you can't break this trend line, if you can't break the daily 100 or 200, you will come down. And if you come down like this, so you break and then you break this level and you retest it and you get a rejection, and then you break this liquid zone at 48,000, you will return to this $30,000 area. And this is just a very, very, very clean distribution schematic. I mean, it's just like it is very, very clean. I know that some people are saying, hey, well, this is accumulation, this is your spring, and then this is maybe your LPS. It just doesn't look right, and especially if you want to use the full context of the chart. I mean, I see some people chopping off, right? They just chop off this area and then say that it's accumulation and that it's a spring. It just doesn't flow correctly. It just doesn't look quite right, but it does look as a perfect distribution pattern. I'm willing to go bullish. I'm willing to go bullish, but I mean, if you see this rejection from this trend line and a rejection from this zone here, I will be much more confident that we will return to the 40Ks. If we head up to our monthly chart and we look at our monthly MACD, I mean, it's curling down on a monthly time frame. On a monthly time frame, it is curling down. So we have a lot more room to the downside if we want to. That is possible here. So we look at Mara, and it is in a bearish pennant. I mean, it doesn't really get more clean than that on a monthly time frame. You have already kind of broken below this pennant. So if you see a continuation, you could see levels, maybe you want to see a double bottom here at 360 or something like this. I mean, it does look crazy, doesn't it? It does look crazy to say that, but your MACD is already trying to curl down. It's light green on a monthly time frame. You could slip down. It doesn't have to be this extreme, but I mean, technical targets of this, is 100% possible, right? Maybe you do come down to maybe $6-7. Maybe you find horizontal support on Mara. somewhere in this zone, at these higher levels, right? So maybe $6-7 is possible as well. But it's just like, I mean, Bitcoin and Mars structure are bearish right now, so I'm willing to flip green on it. I'm willing to flip bullish, but as of now, it's just what I'm seeing. It just doesn't look very good. So for me to flip bullish, if we can break this trend line, if we can break the daily 200 SMA, and then break the all-time high, okay, I will admit that I was wrong, and I'll flip bullish potentially, depending on what I'm seeing, but until then, I mean, I already opened up a short position, and I posted that on my Twitter. Where did I post this? Posted some. Here we go. So I had an entry, short zone, stop loss, and then take profit all the way down here. So if you wanna do some kind of trade setup off of this, that's definitely possible. And then let's look at gold. So gold is in this just huge triangle here, so it could find resistance soon, all the way at this $2,600 to $2,700 level. So maybe gold has a little bit more uptime, has a little bit more, can pump a little bit more here, but you also see some kind of correlation to this channel resistance here. So this $2,700 level could be resistance. And I did put Bitcoin on the chart down here, so we have Bitcoin, and you can kind of notice when it's not like an immediate thing, but when gold seems to top out at a certain level, right? So we had a double top here on gold, and then when it topped out, it's the same time Bitcoin topped out. If we go over here to gold's peak, it had another double top, so it came back up in this double top. Well, that's exactly when Bitcoin peaked out, and then we see gold heading higher. If it tops out here, well, I mean, Bitcoin's already showing signs of weakness. You can see on gold's MACD, it's hitting a double top here, resistance at this previous level on this very huge run up on gold. So MACD should see resistance here. Gold should see resistance at this $2,700 level. We can't really ignore this correlation. We can't really ignore Mara. We can't really ignore the chart. So for now, I know I'm probably in the minority here, saying that I'm bearish. But I guess that's fine with me. I guess I'll be in the minority for now. But I'm not sitting here like it's impossible for Bitcoin to pump or something. I'm just saying from what I'm seeing, it really does look bearish. So yeah, I mean, I think we went over everything. Comment below if you want me to go over another stock, if you want me to go over something else that you're seeing on GME, AMC, or really anything else. You will have access to me on Discord, so my Discord's in the comment and in the description and my bio. You can tweet me. I'll be active on here. I'll be posting a lot of different charts, so if you want to follow me here. So I mean, you can have access to me a couple different ways. Discord, just message me somehow and I'll try to get back to you. Anyway, so let's have an exciting week next week, and let's see what happens, and see you guys in the next one. Peace out.